Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592, the website, and it is updated. Ramona continuing to heal up from that triple bypass. Thank you guys for all your prayers there. We got all new articles up there again. We'll have them up all the time. The podcasts are being put up. So everything getting back to normal on this Wednesday. Jason and I, we got the recordings are on, the mics are on, everything should be working. We are going to have another giveaway today and tomorrow. We're pretty excited about it, and it's a good one too. Somebody's going to be getting a 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. Somebody is going to be getting a 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. Here's the deal. We close Thursday. So tomorrow is our last show of the week. Wherever gold closes in London, which would be the Kitco price. Okay, so the Kitco price, and as of tomorrow's close. So you can enter today and tomorrow. The first person that guesses the price of the close on Thursday, whoever that is, you're going to win a 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. Of course, the other day we gave away a couple of silver eagles. We're reaching out to those people through YouTube. We'll get all their information. And we'll get those silver eagles sent out. We'll do the same thing with the 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagles. And Jason, we'll announce the winner of that when we get back the following Tuesday. So we got a show today, show tomorrow. Then we're off Friday and Monday for the New Year's holiday. Then we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll now announce the winner of that 10th ounce on Tuesday. So what you're looking to do is guess where gold is going to close in London, which is Kitco, and on the end of day Thursday, Jason.
You know, Joe has been doing radio for so long, and so we're developing this way of watching the videos, and so the giveaway is going to be really cool. So it's going to be hard for both of us. I've been doing radio almost 5 years now, but we have to do a whole lot of hey everybody, hey audience, look at this. We're gonna have to put stuff up and have you look at stuff, and I haven't even talked to Joe about how hopefully maybe one of these days we can actually put video on screen during the video, so you have to watch. Not that we want to make all you guys in your cars drive you nuts that you can't see what we're doing, but we do want to drive traffic to that channel so that we can grow this thing. So Joe, it's gonna be cool. I mean, we're gonna snap out of our routine of always trying to make sure nothing's visual. We got to become more visual, right? Don't we?
We're working on now. Listen, you have to do this through YouTube. So to find us, just go to YouTube. Google YouTube, and then in YouTube search Patriot Trading Group. We should come right up. Subscribe to us. Get your guesses in. Like I said, on Tuesday when we get back, we will announce whoever has won the 10th ounce. And I'll say this, normally it goes out to like the 10-cent placeholder. So right now in New York, as an example, so I have the New York price, and then I'll pull up the Kitco price as well here. Gold is $1796.30 in New York. In London, it's $1797.60. So when you're making that guess, keep that in mind, right? If somebody guesses, say $1797, and somebody else says, hey, $1797.60, well, obviously $1790.60 is going to win, Jason.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it make the contest muddied in the waters if we guess where we think it's going to be? that's the way people guesses. What do we
I
think
don't
it's
know
going to
that
be?
it will or won't right now. Like today, this Christmas rally, which we normally have, is not materializing. The Dow is down. Gold and silver are down. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are just looking at the realities that the consumer is slowing down, and Wall Street's just got to reprice itself. The multiples were too high, and now with earnings reports, these earnings reports keep getting lower. Apple, again, more downgrades to iPhone sales over the holiday. We're going to see that Wall Street needs to reprice. And we did this show a week and a half ago. We think with no recession, which is the least likely, the Dow's probably overpriced 10 to 12% too high. And it's probably taken some of that down already. So let's say from these levels, probably still got to go down another, say, 6 to 8%. A soft landing recession, which I think is the next least likely thing. We're probably looking at another 20% down. And if we get, Jason, what I fear we're going to get, which is that deeper recession, we probably got another 30, 35% down to go as all of these companies come in and say, hey, those earnings that we thought we were going to get aren't going to materialize.
Over what time frame, Joe? Those, I guess, it's kind of I agree that the markets will drop that much and possibly more. But is it going to be the entire year, 2023? Is it a slow, dragging crash, or are we going to have a huge, smash in like January, February, March? That's kind of the question. That's the only thing I can't figure out, Joe. Is it going to grind? Or is
we're probably going to get both. It's going to take all year, but there's going to be those ugly days that we've grown accustomed to, probably more than one coming in 2023. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason will be back right after the break. (800-951-0592) Patriot Radio News Hour. Quick market recap here. The Dow is down almost 200 points. The S&P is down 27. The NASDAQ's down almost another 100 points. Pretty much everything's down today. Gold's down 17.97. Silver's down 55 cents, $23.50. I guess while the one thing up, bond yields are up 3.87. So those lower bond yields probably over, as again we're waiting now. We're about a little over 4 weeks away from the next Fed rate hike, as we'll watch and see how all of that plays out. This market recap brought to you by our friends at YRefi. And again, something that isn't involved in Wall Street, that gives you high rates of return, guaranteed. You know what you're going to get every single month. I mean, you get up to 10.25%. You can turn it into monthly income if you want. The interest is compounded daily. You can do whatever you want with that interest. You can take some of the interest, all of the interest, leave it all in there. The great part is if you want to terminate early, because you know how they like to do it. Oh, well, if you terminate early, you got to pay a penalty and a fee. You get all of your principal back no matter what. Check it out. Log into investYRefi.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com, or 888-YREFI24, 888-YREFI24. And Jason, at least anyway, or right now, this rally that we've grown accustomed to at the end of the year for Wall Street hasn't happened. And I don't know, we still got a couple of days left. It's possible, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that big year-end rally.
Since January of 2021, when Biden took office, this is essentially where the markets have been. It's gone up and down over the last 2 years. The NASDAQ has usually been around 12,000. So really it's showing the cracks, and the S&P was always over 4,000 until the last few months. So the Dow sitting around 32, 33,000. It's just kind of been stagnant for 2 years, Joe. It's just been sitting there. So So I think that the NASDAQ being down a little bit and the S&P down a little bit, I don't know if they'll rally for the next couple of days, but it won't really matter. It's essentially flat for 2 years. I think the manipulation of the markets is they're timing whatever they're getting ready to time, Joe, and whether it be a big drop off the cliff or a slow grind downward. I think your 35% it's a good number. And my number, by the way, I think at the end of Thursday, I think we'll be at 1822 and 20 cents. How's that?
Well, all right. So Jason's expecting a rally tomorrow. And again, right now, if you're just joining us, we're giving away a 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. You have to do it through YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, search Patriot Trading Group, subscribe to our channel, go in, like the podcast, go in there and put your prediction. Just as a reminder, we are going to use the London close. We just figure that's easier. You go out to allamericangold.com. We have the Kitco price on our website wherever it closes Thursday. So that's going to close. So we'll close in New York, and then we're going to get an hour of that electronic trade wherever it closes at that electronic trade. That's the number we're going to use. So get your guesses in there. And like I said, they always go out to the dime. They actually, I've never seen, I want to say never, I'm sure it's happened once or twice. You don't get the pennies with the Kitco. So 18, 22, 20 is Jason's guess. I'm going to say this. You know what? I'm going to throw a guess out there. I'm going to say 1803.50. 1803.50.
Right.
That's where I'm gonna say that we're gonna get a little bit of a pop, but I just have that feeling that they'll sell it off in that electronic trade a little bit.
We'll see, yeah, because Friday will be the last day for 2022 for gold, silver in the market. So we'll see. Maybe the big day is Friday, right, Joe? You never know.
Yeah, it could be Friday. That's right. Since we're not here Friday, we're going to use Thursday, so change it up a little. You know, when we've been talking a lot about inflation, how high are rates going? Jason and I, it's still job loss dependent, right? If we don't get the big job losses, rates will be higher than I'm anticipating. But then you have things like this spending bill. We haven't even talked about this spending bill that got passed, another 1.7 trillion, 800 billion in domestic spending. Jason, that's almost 10% more than they spent in domestically anyway in 2022. These guys don't get it. They're absolutely clueless at what inflation really is. Inflation isn't higher prices. That's like the symptom of inflation is higher prices. The inflation is the printing of all the money.
Yeah, I guess they're not following the lead of the Fed. The Fed's supposedly holding back and trying to be more conservative, and the government's like, well, things are changing in the government next year, so let's just throw out another big, huge spending package. And I have a lot. It's just me, Joe, but I think this has a lot to do with that war going on in Ukraine. I think there's a lot of money that's secretly going over there.
I'm glad you brought that up. So think about how backwards priorities really are. 800 billion in domestic spending. 858 billion in military spending. By the way, that's up 10%, right, from the previous year. The bill authorized about $1.5 trillion more than last year's budget. So think about this. 1.7 trillion, 1.5 of that 1.7 is just additional spending that the government didn't do last year. You got to remember, the government didn't have to spend, remember the Biden administration, and they were so proud of themselves because you got to remember the government fiscal year ended the last day of September. So technically, in the eyes of the government, we're in the first quarter of 2023 as far as spending goes. So they threw themselves a big party, Jason. Oh, look at what a great job we did. The deficit was only $1.4 trillion for the entire year. I mean, 1.4 trillion. Think about, we went almost, 200 years as a country before we got to $1 trillion. And they threw themselves a party about 1.4. Jason, it really, I'll tell you right now, this economy goes and slows the way I think it's gonna. We're gonna post a huge deficit number in 2023.
Yeah, that number can do nothing but go bigger. The system's not set up for that number to get smaller, Joe. Yeah, once you pass the point of no return, which is, that you can never pay back the debt, which we're never going to pay back the debt. Once you get there, the deficits have to go up every year because the interest payments go up every year. It's not going to get smaller. So, it's interesting, Joe, that big military budget as you brought in, it doesn't seem like we got any new planes or new ships or any great new technology. I mean, I know the technology is going forward, but is that really, what is that money going, Joe? But maybe what foreign countries are getting that money. Maybe our military budget is more the foreign military budget. Maybe it's just those are giveaways, right?
Oh yeah, well, a lot of it going to Ukraine, obviously, a bunch of it probably to replace all the equipment, right, that we've already sent over there. But it is staggering when you think about, we're approaching now $1 trillion just in military spending. And again, my guess is we probably are spending $1 trillion just in this bill. It was only $858 billion, right? And they'll pass, a bunch of other little bills. Oh well, we need a quick $100 billion more for Ukraine, and then we need like $80 billion. I'm sure we're doing $1 trillion. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I never believed the numbers, anyways, Joe. So I mean, when the numbers are telling us are awful, then imagine what the actual numbers are, because they got a printing press. It's the Fed.
I just want to know how do we control inflation like this? Right, no. The Fed's trying to raise interest rates to slow the inflation. Now the government comes out and says, "Well, hey, we're just going to spend, just a couple $1 trillion more. Don't worry." I mean, this is the problem. This is a huge, huge problem. And of course, remember, every time those rates go up, but how much we have to pay to service that debt goes up. And you're going to be looking at years now in 2023, 2024, 2025, where all of a sudden we're adding hundreds of billions of dollars to the debt just because we got to pay more in interest rates because of the fact that they printed too much money. And now the government's saying, well, you know what, we're just going to keep doing it.
And something else that could be really bad for inflation, Joe, it may be even worse than what our government's doing, is if these other countries like China and Russia and Saudi Arabia and these other countries, they want to just dump their dollars back to us because they don't want to use it anymore. That could be really bad. And that might be why we're having that inflation. Here's the thing. That might be the number one reason why we're having the inflation we have, is because they're dumping them back here.
Let me give you an example. So you got to remember, and as we've educated all of you, this is why we tell you, listen, you're a fool having, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. Companies and governments don't leave their money in the bank. They buy bonds. Apple buys a lot of treasury bonds. Microsoft buys a lot of treasury bonds because they don't want it in the bank. They also buy Euro bonds and, Chinese bonds and all these other things. But just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, in 2022, the fiscal year that just ended in September, the United States paid $475 billion just in interest payments. Now, remember, interest rates were essentially zero, and they were zero for like 15 years outside of an 18-month window. That was 30% more in interest in 2022 versus 2021. And of course, now we only added 1.4 trillion. What do you think it's going to be? Think about this, what it's going to be on all these following years, Jason.
Yeah. It's already going downhill fast, isn't it, Joe?
We just talked about 800 billion, right? 800 billion in domestic spending, 858 billion in military spending, interest on the debt. I'm going to guess probably about $600 billion in 2023. If we're lucky, could be 7. I mean, we're almost at that point where we're getting very close to, hey, we're just going to spend domestically $1 trillion, military $1 trillion, interest on the debt $1 trillion, Medicare $1 trillion, Social Security $1.5 trillion. I mean, all of a sudden you're sitting there going, wait a minute, we just spent $7, $8, $9 trillion and we really didn't do anything.
Yeah, and and we talk about the inflation, Joe, from the last couple of years, 2021, 2022. I mean, we got to these $1 trillion levels years ago. I mean, Bush doubled it and Obama doubled it, and Trump was on his way to doubling it, and Biden, if he gets another term, he'll double it. This debt that we have, and these numbers are so big. And the reason it's never happened in America before, or in many other countries, these $1 trillion levels, is because somebody scratches the number in the sand, and they're like, the number gets to be something you can't even fathom. Your brain can't even fathom what these numbers are, and that's why things would fail before. But now, Joe, everyone walks around. Oh yeah, well, I know. Everyone likes to act like they know what $1 trillion is. Oh yeah, it's just it's $1 trillion. Nobody really knows what $1 trillion is, Joe. Your brain's not big enough to actually compute.
You can't handle. You have no idea. Take you and your wife, right? Let's just say between the two of you, you made $250,000 a year. You did it for 50 years in a row. You're nowhere close to $1 trillion, and you just worked your whole life, right? It's incomprehensible. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour here on this Wednesday, the 28th. Don't forget, we're giving away a free 1/10-ounce American Gold Eagle. Guess the price of the London close tomorrow. So you can guess today. You can guess tomorrow. Jason's kind of putting it up there in the camera. Gold's so shiny. It just reflects right off of the camera. Speaking of 10th ounce, listen, we got a big sale going on 10th ounce American Gold Eagles today, $240. That really puts us, we're cheaper than all the online guys. $240 for 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagles. And then we're also going to put Silver Eagles on sale today. Again, we're going to be cheaper than all these online guys. $760 a roll. Jason's showing you one Silver Eagle. They come in rolls of 20. They're $760. Really good idea to get that fractional gold and silver put away as we speed towards this digital currency. And you know what's amazing? Even the Congressional Budget Office today said, oh, by the way, within 10 years, and listen, this is the Congressional Budget Office. They're about as good at predicting stuff as the Fed, so it's going to be sooner than that. They expect interest alone on the debt will be at least $1.2 trillion a year by 2032, Jason.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, is that? Do you think that's where they'll stop, or is that the good number, Joe? That might be just optimistic.
You're making $1 million a year for 50 years. You got $50 million. You're nowhere close to $1 trillion. I mean, it's insanity of what that really is. And how big the problem has really gotten. By the way, I want to just roll this out there. If you want a case of Silver Eagles, which is 25 rolls, I'm doing my quick math here. Save $10 a roll, so $760 a roll, 1 through 24. You get that 25th roll. That price goes down to $750. So we're even that much less expensive than everybody else out there. Call us 800-951-0592, and it's early, but Jason is gold's back above 1,800 already. So Jason He's got 1822. We're not allowed to win. We can't win. Jason's got 1822 and change. I was like 1803 and change. But get your bets in there. But you have to do it through YouTube.
And this sale that we have today, I was just talking to a customer yesterday, and we were quoting prices on some silver he wanted to buy, and Silver Eagles was one of the things we were pricing, and it was 19,500 yesterday. So this is a good special, knocking $750 off of a monster box of Silver Eagles. I think it was $795 for a roll of Silver Eagles. Now you got $760 today. So
we had a 50 cent. We had a 50-cent drop in the price. But then the wholesaler, by the way, these are sealed cases. These Silver Eagles, sealed cases of 2022s. So if you're looking for a 2022 Silver Eagle, today's your day. $760. If you buy a case, take $10 off, and it'll be a sealed case of 2022s.
And then on top of that, you got 10th ounce gold Eagles. I'm right at allamericangold.com. I'm just looking at the prices when Joe throws them out there. So yeah, it's right there at the site. $240 each for a 10th ounce gold Eagle. These are the coins that the U.S. Mint makes. It's the gold Eagle here, and then you got the Silver Eagle. This is the stuff you need, guys. We can actually, being on the radio, we never get to show this stuff off. But now that we've got the YouTube channel and we're doing videos, we can show the stuff off, and man, it's cool to actually hold it and actually show it to the viewers and the listeners. Joe.
Yeah, that 10th ounce that is a huge sale at $240 at 800-951-0592. We have some, not very many, maybe a handful of 10th ounce in stock. Most of these 10th ounce, and you can specify if you want, these are going to be 2023 10th ounce. So it's going to take about 3 weeks before we see those 10th ounce, but they will be 2023s. The Silver Eagles, just kind of the last shot for the 2022 Silver Eagles at 800-951-0592. And as Jason said, go out to allamericangold.com. I've already got the sale prices there. You can order at your heart's content. If you're new to us, we're not like other dealers out there, not even close. It's so easy. Just call the 800 number or go to All American Gold, go to the shopping cart. If you call the 800 number, just tell the girls you want the special. That's all you got to say. Want the special. And today, since we have two of them, they'll be like, well, which one? And you'll be like, well, I want the 10th ounce, or I want both, right? Who knows? I want the case of Silver Eagles. Just tell them what you want, how many you'd like, right? Because that's really our tough question. Hey, I want the 10th ounce. Okay, great. How many would you like? I mean, that's our big, hard question. We have offices in Phoenix, in Colorado as well, where you can pick up if you like, or we ship everywhere in any U.S. territory. We ship all 50 states, all U.S. territories. It's a flat $35 to ship. So you order a case of Silver Eagles, right? It's $18,750 plus $35. Roll of Silver Eagle, $760 plus $35. We ship FedEx primarily. We can ship anything. We can ship ground UPS. We can ship the post office. But FedEx is our primary shipping unit. And the thing about us, once you've done business with us, Jason, you don't hear from us. We don't call you. We don't send you emails or notifications. We don't do any of that stuff. You won't hear from us again until you call us again. The only customers we call, there are people, they ask, hey, will you call me when you got my check? Okay, can you call me when your item's shipped? And we do all of that stuff and tracking numbers and the whole 9 yards. But 800-951-0592. We never sell your data. A lot of these gold companies make a lot of money selling data. We never do it at all, ever won't do it. That's just how we like to do things. Every time you order, you get a trade number that locks you in. You ordered right now, and let's just say, like to Jason's point, gold goes up $22 more tomorrow. Hey, you're locked in. You don't pay more. Conversely, if it goes down, you don't get to pay less. It's just that simple. 800-951-0592. We also take all major credit cards. We charge 2% for the use of those cards. Jason and I, we're coming right back. And is housing a thing of the past, or at least owning? (800-951-0592) 10th ounce American Gold Eagles 2023s. We do have some 2022s, but not very many. 2023s, 240. Silver Eagle. So the girls just came in and asked, hey, can they get 2023 Silver Eagles as well? The answer is yes. Just remember, for the 2023s, I'm telling you, 3 weeks. Obviously, 3 weeks from now, the bullion bank could say, hey, it's going to be another week or two. They'll be in sometime mid to late January. So just be patient. But like I said, you're locked in, right? Let's just say mid-January, the silver and the gold show up, but gold, instead of it being 1,800, it's 1,900. You're locked in. You paid $240. That's it. End of discussion. Silver. Hey, well, silver's now $26. Doesn't matter. You're locked in at that price, $760 a roll. 800-951-0592. And Jason, man, two big stories breaking. Yesterday, we talked about the Chicago pensions. Today, big article, California, their pension system just this is how bad they are at stock trading. $30 billion loss in the California pension systems. And Jason, it looks like 2023 is going to be the year all these pension states come back with it, because they're saying they anticipate more losses again. New Jersey, Illinois, California, all of these states starting to mount with significant losses. And then at the same time, as the housing market with these high rates, let's just make housing prices unaffordable. Jason and I have talked how many times we're getting into this age where you're not going to own anything. We did the half empty cup. We started talking about cobalt as an example, one of the products needed for this new technology age and electric cars and 5G phones. Jason, it's just the math doesn't work. The prices of these things, let's face it, I'll just say a nice F-150. You know, it got the bells, you got the bells and got the whistles. Well, that used to be what a house cost in 2000. You know, my wife and I, we bought our first home in 2000. It was $135,000. You get a loaded F-150, it's $135,000. I mean, it just is. And now they're talking about the idea of Americans owning a home. They're saying that 43% of adults under the age of 40, they're calling them rent-vestors now. Sorry, that doesn't work, because when you're renting, you're investing in nothing. They say that the act of prioritizing buying an investment property while owning a home or owning a residence no longer, Jason, seems to be possible. You know, remember, there was a time there, hey, I've got my primary home and I've got my rental property, right? All that stuff. They're saying it's a thing of the past, that most people under 40 now are starting to come to the realization they may never own a home.
Yeah, well, I think it's headed towards, they want people, I think the system wants people to feel like they're free to own stuff. They don't want you to own anything. So let's go with art and even property recently, Joe. Look what they're doing to people that can't own stuff. So I got a Christmas gift from my son. Okay, it's pretty. I saw this thing before he bought it for me. I actually saw this thing, but my wife became a lady and I became a lord because Jack bought a 1 square foot piece of Scotland. Okay, so I am now Lord Jason and Lady.
Oh my gosh! If your head wasn't big enough already, Lord Jason. So, but you know what's so funny? What this article is saying is, hey, you may not be able to own a home, but you can buy a piece of a rental property.
That's exactly where I was going, Joe. Which is, you've seen these, the Masterworks, I think is what it's called. It's this internet company where you can buy a piece of the Mona Lisa or some painting, right? You can buy a piece of Scotland, but you're never going to own actual property. I mean, you'll own that piece. It's kind of like they're basically trying to turn they're trying to turn property and art and things into equities. They're turning property into equities. A stock, you own a piece of something, Joe. It's owning the whole thing. That's not going to be. You have to be a real lord for that, don't you?
Yeah. So you can't afford to own your own home, but hey, look at it this way. You can buy a piece of a rental property. I wonder if you can buy a piece of the rental property that you're actually renting. So you can almost feel, well, I own, like Jason said, maybe you own a 1 by 1 foot piece of the bathroom, right? Because essentially, what are you really owning? Nothing.
That's exactly right, Joe. I think this is it gives the illusion of freedom to people. Let's face it, before the Federal Reserve showed up in 1913, the majority, that means more than 50%, and I think it was actually more than 75 to 85% of all homes in this country were owned. There was no mortgage. The mortgage was something that didn't happen. And then Joe said many times, look, in the 60s and 70s, almost nobody had credit cards, but by the 80s, many people had credit cards, right, Joe? We're still moving towards a lower standard of living.
Yeah. Now everyone has to have them. But we're coming up on the break. Final segment coming up. Man, this was a quick hour. This thing just flew by. Get those guesses in where gold's going to close in London tomorrow. The winner's going to get a free 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. Listen, get these gold and silver eagles put away. The 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. Jason and I, we're going to wrap it up right after the break. 800-951-0592 2023 10th ounce American Gold Eagles. Well, we'll have them here about 3 weeks. Huge sale today. $240 on the 10th ounce. And then U.S. Silver Eagles. You pick 2022 or 2023 Silver Eagles. Or you can have some of both. If you end up with 25 rolls or more, save $10 a roll. So Silver Eagles, $760 a roll at 20. Like I said, both of these were cheaper than all the online guys out there. If you buy 25 rolls of Silver Eagles, the price goes down to $750 a roll at 800-951-0592. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You've got today and tomorrow before the close of gold in London to guess where gold's going to close. The person that guessed the closest and the earliest, right? They're going to be the winner of a 10th ounce American Gold Eagle, Jason.
Absolutely. So guess today. And as far as I'm concerned, they can guess tomorrow. Now, we're not going to you can't guess 15 times, but if you guess on Wednesday today and you want to rethink it tomorrow, obviously, whoever guessed on Wednesday, if you guess the same guy as some guy on Wednesday, on Thursday, then the guy on Wednesday is going to win. But
right.
Guess.
Gold could go down. Listen, gold could go down $15 tomorrow, and you may want to re-guess. It could go up $20. You may want to re-guess. We're going to open it up. We want you to be involved, and we're going to do a lot of things. There's going to be points next year where we're going to be giving away thousands of dollars of gold and silver. So believe me, you want to get in now. Go to YouTube, in the search Patriot Trading Group. We'll come right up. Subscribe to our channel, like our podcast, put your guess in the comment section. That's all you got to do, Jason.
Yeah, and I've got creative ideas. Joe's got some creative ideas. We got different ways of driving traffic to that YouTube channel. So my brain is always working, Joe. So we're going to get people going there, and we don't have call-ins. We don't have call-ins on this show. But man, in the comment section, if you really want to have suggestions or things you want to say to us, that we're going to try to monitor the comments at the YouTube. So if there's ever a comment or a question that you've had while we're on the air, go there once the YouTube post is there and drop your comments, or we'll try to make sure to get to them as best.
We'll try to address it the next day for you. Yeah, the losses on Wall Street picking up here. The Dow's down just right at 33,000 here, down 240 points. The S&P's down 31. The Nasdaq's down 115. Gold's down 13, 1801. And silver is now down about 45 cents here at $23.60. And again, we'll continue to watch this. We've got the Fed trying to tighten the money supply. The government saying, the heck with that. Let's spend it, baby. And how that's going to affect interest rates. Gas prices, I know, man, they have gotten cheap here. And it's funny. They now got me saying a little over $3 is cheap gasoline. Don't expect that to last. Gas Buddy today says I think gas will be $4 again come May. But hey, we'll take it while we got it. A little less, we'll take it. God bless everybody. Jason and I, we're switching over to the half-empty cup. Jump over to 1360khnc.com and follow us there. And we got one more show for the week.